It's a bit windy today, so apologies for any wind noises. But anyway, I feel like the last 3 videos I've made were about the inner child. But I still feel like this is a topic that is really relevant to life. If you want to have a good life, it's really a great perspective to use. So, because basically, we all want a good life. We all want a great life for ourselves. We want to be living a life that we enjoy and are excited. We want to jump out of bed each day excited to live. And we want to love. We want to laugh. I mean, that's what we want. Yet we think it's the outside world that is stopping us from doing that. We think, I can't be happy, I can't live an exciting life because of this person out there, or because of this circumstance that I have, or because of the place that I'm in. You know, we make excuses not to be happy. We even see these, what I just said earlier, laugh, live, love, or whatever. You know, we see these that classic quote above your bed, and it's like everyone sees that as a cringy thing, oh, that's cringy, live, laugh, love. But I don't see that as cringy. That's a good motto to have. I mean, yeah, it's very it's a very common thing, and it's a very cliche thing, but those are good mottos to live by. It's not a cringy thing. It's oh, I can't just live, love, laugh, fucking gay. It's isn't that what you want though? It's kind of people don't think they're deserving of it. It's kind of something that they'll never achieve. It's I'll never be living and laughing and loving to the extent that I want. The world is suffering. The world is shit. The world is fucked. How can I be happy in this world? And that's bullshit. We don't derive our sense of happiness and love from anything outside of ourselves. If we want to be happy, it's our choice to be happy. It's in our control. It's in our reach. And so we've got to pull our power back and realize that nothing outside of ourselves is what's causing us suffering. Nothing outside of ourselves is making us suffer. And that's the belief that people have, is that they think that, no, I'm suffering because of this person outside of me. I'm suffering because of this circumstance. You know, this person's been a dick to me. I'm hurt. This person's a cunt. But no, we're creating those chemicals within our body. We're creating that emotion within ourselves. We have the opportunity to respond whichever way we decide. And if we choose to decide in a hurtful manner to someone's hurtful comment, if we say, oh, that person's a dickhead, I'm so hurt by them, fucking hell, that's our decision. Equally so, we have a decision to look at this person who's just said this hurtful comment to us and accept that that's not a personal thing, that that's completely up to them, their choice to say whatever they want. It's up to us to take offence or not. We don't have to take offence. The reason that we take offense is because we somewhat think that what they're saying is somewhat true for us. And it's up to us to decide whether that is true. If someone says, "You're a dickhead and I hate you," if you take offense, then the reason you are taking offense to that is because you somewhat believe that statement to be true. And then you've got to search within yourself. Do I actually think I'm a dickhead? Do I actually think I'm worthy of hate? You've got to find that within yourself, because actually you do believe that somewhere deep down. And no one wants to fucking live like that. Who wants to live in a way where you think you're not good enough, where you actually are a dickhead? The problems that we have in the world today all stems from a lack of self-love. We think we are shit. We think we're unworthy of love. We think we're cunts. If we thought we were, and not in like an egotistical way, not in like a narcissistic way, not in like a self-righteous, better than everything else kind of way, but in a really sincere way where we know our value and that we know we are worthy of love, and we know our innate goodness. When we know that, nothing can harm us. Nothing will affect us. If someone says, "You're a dickhead, I hate you," you're not going to take offense if you know that you're worthy of love and that you are valuable. If you know that deep within your core, you can't take offense from that. You can only take offense when that's unstable within you, when you don't actually know who you are, and you don't know if you are valuable or you are a dickhead. And that's why you've really got to go within and find that worth within yourself. Find that love, find that value within yourself, that innate goodness. And it's there. If you look, it's there. You've just been taught that you're not good enough. You've been conditioned to think you're not good enough, but you are. Everyone is. Everyone has this innate goodness, this kindness, this value. We've got it. Everyone has it. We've just been taught that we're shit. So we have to pull our power back and realize that, because we all want to be happy. You can't question that. Everyone wants to be happy. And so it's about realizing that, okay, if happiness is what I want more than anything else, how am I going to get it? How am I going to be happy? Happiness is what I want. How am I going to achieve it? How am I going to be happy? And so you start off with this question, and then you start to see some of the reasons why you suffer. Why do I suffer? And you may go, well, I suffer because of this person, or I suffer because of this circumstance or this situation. I suffer because of these things outside of myself. And so the first kind of reaction that you'd have would be to want to change these things. So these people in your life that are getting on your nerves, the first thing that you would probably want to do is try to control them. Like, no, I want you to be this way in order for me to be happy. I want people to be this way so I can be happy. But of course that doesn't work. And you quickly realize that you cannot control other people. People are just doing their thing. The environment's just doing its thing. You have no control over the outside world whatsoever. I mean, you can do your best, but you can only go to the extent. You can only go to a certain extent. You can try and change the outside world, but it reaches its limits. Eventually, it gets to a point where you have no control anymore. So yeah, you can control a bit of your outside world based on your actions and behavior and your words, but only to a certain extent. And so when you reach that extent where you've done everything in your control, then you realize that, okay, people are going to act the way that they do. People are going to be unkind. People are going to be rude. But now it's up to me, if I truly want to be happy, it's up to me whether I'm going to take offense from other people's rudeness and unkindness. It's my decision now. And then it gets deep, because we realize that, so it's in my power to be happy. No one else can make me happy. Nothing outside myself can make me happy. So it's up to me now. And so we start exploring, why am I getting hurt by the outside world? And so we bring it back to ourselves. And what we realize is that it's not that we're getting hurt by the outside world. It's not that the outside world is causing us to suffer. It's that we are causing ourselves to suffer. Because of the beliefs that we hold, which is because of the conditioning that we've gone through. And so, like I said earlier, the reason we suffer and get hurt is because we believe in something that's not true. The reason we suffer is because we're ignorant. The reason we suffer is because we are living in an illusion. The reason we suffer is because we believe in things that aren't real. So, just like that example I gave of someone calling you a dickhead, if you take offense, then you're taking offense because you believe somewhat that you are a dickhead. And so you've got to search within yourself, why do I think I'm a dickhead? Why do I believe that I am bad? And then, you keep going down that line of thought. Why do I believe I'm bad? Well, I believe I'm bad because I've done this and that. And then you go, why do I think that doing this and that makes me bad? Well, I believe that because I've done this and that, you keep going down that line of thinking. And it usually, ends up at a core belief where you think you're not good enough, or you're unlovable, or you can't cope. And you've really got to investigate that. Why do I think I'm not good enough? Why do I think I'm unlovable? Why do I think I'm shit? Why do I think I'm unworthy? These kind of core beliefs of this not good enoughness. Why do I believe I'm not good enough? And it really comes down to the question of, who am I then? Who the fuck am I? Why do I believe I am not good enough? Why do I believe I am unlovable? Well, who am I? Who the fuck am I? Am I inherently bad? Or am I inherently good? Or am I inherently neither? Or am I inherently both? Which is it? Who the fuck am I? It gets very deep. It's a deep inquiry. But if you truly want to be happy, the question you've got to be asking yourself is, who am I? And am I worthy of love and happiness? And what I've found in my own direct experience is that who I am cannot be described, cannot be explained. Who I am is very intertwined into the very structure of reality itself. Who I am, at the very core, is nature itself. And when you see that you're very interconnected with nature and that your very essence is nature, then you can start to see that it's not really a game of am I worthy or am I not worthy? Am I good enough or am I not good enough? Am I lovable? Am I not lovable? It's not really any of those questions. It's just that it is. Nature is. Existence is. And so, the very fact that nature is, and the very fact that you are, that nature exists, that you exist, the very fact that it is, means that it's worthy, that it is good enough, but not in terms that you usually think of worthiness and good enoughness. It transcends duality. It's no longer, am I good, am I not good, am I lovable, am I not lovable? It's just the very fact that things are, that it exists, that it is inherently good enough. It's not a good-bad duality. It transcends the good and bad duality and just has this inherent, innate goodness that transcends the good-bad duality. You are inherently valuable because you exist. Because you are nature. I mean, you look at a tree or a blade of grass and you don't ask the question, is that tree good enough? Is that blade of grass lovable? No. It just is. It's just doing its thing. It just grows. You know what I mean? Is that cloud up there worthy of love? Is that cloud up there good enough? Is it good enough? Is it worthy? Is it a good cloud or is it a bad cloud? No, it's just a fucking cloud. It's just part of nature. It's the same with you. It's the same with me. So, I want to talk about the inner child a bit more, because the inner child is that part of us that believes that we are not good enough. The inner child is the part of us that has been conditioned to think that we're unlovable, not good enough, and unworthy. It's our conditioning, it's our ego. And so we may say, like, I wish I could do this thing, but I can't because I'm afraid of being judged. And you ask the question, well, why are you afraid of being judged? Well, it's because I think I'm not good enough. And this is the inner child speaking. This is our conditioning, or our ego speaking. Is that it's like, I believe I'm not good enough. I want to do this thing, but I believe I'll be judged because I believe I'm not good enough. And so the best way to treat this, our initial response might be like to beat it to the ground and push it under the rug. Be like, fuck's sake, I want to do this thing, but there's this voice in me saying that I can't do this thing because I'm not good enough, or I'll feel judged. Fucking hell. And the initial response might be to get frustrated. But all this is doing is pushing the truth under the rug. And that can't be a sustainable thing. It doesn't work. The way to go about this is to look at this as if this was a child, as if this was your own child. And so we want to go do this thing. I want this for me. I want to do this thing. And then the voice comes and we treat this as if this is our child that says, well, we treat the whole thing as if this is our child in front of us. The child, our own child, is saying to us, Mum or Dad, I want to go do this thing, but I'm afraid of feeling judged because I believe that I'm not good enough for it. What is our response? So we're going to say, for fuck's sake, listen up, little Johnny. Fucking bosh, bosh, bosh. Fucking... you know? Like, yes, that's true. You're not good enough. You can't do that. Oh, you want to do this thing? Oh, too bad. Because, yeah, I agree with you. You're not good enough. You are shit. You're going to get judged. No. How the fuck is that going to help that child? Is that in any form a loving thing to do? No. Is that going to help the child get what it wants? No. We have to understand this child and be like, listen. We have to be understanding, be like, listen, I understand your pain. I understand that you believe that you're not good enough and that you're scared that people will judge you. And I'm sorry that you feel this way, but let me tell you, I think you are wonderful. I think you have immense quality and value to you. I think you are beautiful. You are loved. I love you. And this is what we've got to start doing with ourselves. Is that we want to go do something, and then there's another voice in ourselves that says, no, you can't do that because you'll be judged and you're not good enough. And instead of berating or beating this voice in our head, trying to get this out of our system, we have to bring it in. We have to treat it with love and say, I understand why you're afraid. I understand your pain. But you are beautiful and you are worthy of love. And so I'm going to help you deconstruct these false beliefs, because you're building these beliefs on a foundation of one belief that says you're not good enough. And so we have these beliefs of, I'm going to feel judged because I'm not good enough. And so we have to help this voice realize that it is good enough. To realize that we've got to deconstruct these beliefs. We've got to work our way down. I can't do this because I think I'm going to be judged. Why do you think you're going to be judged? Why do you believe that you're going to be judged? I believe I'm going to be judged because I believe that I'm not good enough. Why do you believe you're not good enough? I believe I'm not good enough because, well, who the fuck am I? And then you realize that you have this fucking spiritual awakening. You realize that you are inherently good, that transcends any good and bad duality. And once you realize that you are inherently good, then you can start to peel away these layers of conditioning that has made you think that you're not good. Bear with me for a minute. I'm sensing a hypo. I've got type 1 diabetes and my blood sugar's low, so I'm going to eat some jelly beans. And so we come back to sort of the beginning of this video, is that people want to be happy, but people don't know. People don't want to find out who they are because it shatters their whole identity. The thing is that people want to be happy, but if it means sacrificing who you think you are, your whole identity, then people don't want to be happy. This is the thing, is that there's a innate calling saying, I want to be happy, but then there's this stronger thing where it's like, I want to keep this identity. And this identity is structured around suffering. It's like, I am this person and I have suffered. And people don't want to let go of that identity, even if it means they'll be happy. Because most people think that they are their conditioning. Most people think they are their past and their pain. And so they've constructed this whole sense of self that includes all this pain. And to give up the pain means to give up the identity. And people are not ready to have a spiritual awakening. People are not ready to realize that they are not their ego, that they're not their conditioning, that they're not this voice inside their heads. People are not ready to surrender their sense of self to a higher self, which is who they actually are. Anyway, I don't know how much else I can say, so thanks for watching.